Welcome to Shadowed Tales Archive. Tonight's story is titled, The Threads We Don't Pull. Let the shadows speak.
Part 1. A Shared Name, A Shattered Past. Posted by Jonah93. Thread. I found something weird on my dad's old hard drive. Date, March 12th, 2023. Okay, so I know this is going to sound weird. I wouldn't normally post on a paranormal thread, but I don't know what to do with this, and I guess I just need strangers to tell me I'm not insane. This all started last week when I was helping my dad clear out some boxes after he sold his house. He's moving into a condo near the coast. He told me to go through this old Dell laptop of his from like 2007 or something, said it probably just had old tax files. But the thing is, it wasn't blank. There was a folder on the desktop named Therapy Logs, hidden but not well. Inside were email transcripts, dozens of them, between my dad and someone just labeled Dr. H. It starts off like normal therapy emails, awkward small talk and scheduling issues. Then it gets personal, really personal, disturbingly so. I saved one of them. I don't know if it's even right to share this, but here, from dr.harrison@outlook.com to lucas.shepherd@comcast.net. Subject, first session follow-up. Lucas, I'm glad you found the courage to begin writing about your experience. I understand it's difficult to revisit trauma, especially when that trauma is tied to someone you've lost. As we agreed, I'll remain a silent presence while you get your thoughts down. Just write what comes to mind. We'll explore it together in session. Dr. Harrison. From lucas.shepherd@comcast.net to dr.harrison@outlook.com. Subject, first session follow-up. Okay, here goes. I haven't talked about River since I was 17. Even saying his name makes something twist inside my stomach. We were close. Not like brothers, closer than that, and we didn't even realize it. We grew up 3 houses apart, shared everything. The first time I realized something was wrong with him, we were maybe 13. He told me he kept seeing a man in a long coat standing at the edge of the woods behind his house. Said the guy never moved, just stared. I thought it was bullshit, a dare. River was always trying to scare me. But the way he described it, he said the man had no mouth, that his face looked like it had been smoothed out, like a sheet of wet clay. Just hollow eye sockets and a blank, twitching space where lips should have been. I laughed it off, but I couldn't sleep that night. We both started sleeping with the blinds closed after that. Back to my post. There's more. A lot more. Apparently River went missing a few months after that. My dad was questioned by police. Not as a suspect, just as the last person to see River before he vanished. I didn't even know about River. My dad's never once mentioned a friend named River in his life. But here's where it gets weirder. In one of the emails, Dad says this. There was one night, not long before he disappeared, when I woke up and found him standing at the foot of my bed. He wasn't asleep. He just stood there, staring, said nothing. His eyes were bloodshot like he'd been crying for hours. There's something familiar about that, because when I was 10, I woke up one night and saw my dad doing the exact same thing. Standing at the edge of my bed, not moving, just looking down at me. I thought he was sleepwalking. That's what Mom said too, but now I'm not sure. From lucas.shepherd@comcast.net to dr.harrison@outlook.com. Subject, first session follow-up. The night he came into my room, I remember something changed. I wasn't scared of River. I was scared of what he might say. He looked at me like he wasn't really seeing me and just whispered, I think it wants me now. I asked what he meant. He didn't answer. He turned and walked away out the door down the hallway. I followed him, but when I got to the stairs, he was gone. The front door was locked. I remember feeling like something else had just walked through me, like a cold breath, like something had passed between us that wasn't part of the house. We never talked about that night again. Then one morning, his mom called mine, screaming. River was gone. No sign of forced entry. No clothes taken. His bedroom light was still on. Back to me again, Jonah. Here's the part that really freaked me out. My full name is Jonah Lucas Shepard. I'm named after my dad. Jonah is from Mom's side, Lucas from him. So when I read this story, I started to wonder if he'd written about River like he was a real person or if it was some kind of metaphor, until I found the last email from lucas.shepard@comcast.net to dr.harrison@outlook.com. Subject, final thoughts. I haven't told my son about River, about what happened. But sometimes when Jonah walks into the room, I swear to God I see the same look River had right before he vanished. Like a reflection that doesn't blink when you do. I've started locking my door at night. He knocks sometimes, says he needs help sleeping. But I never open it. Not anymore. That was the last message. After that, the emails stopped. I asked my dad about River tonight. He froze. Didn't say a word. Just looked at me like he was trying to remember who I was. I'm scared to sleep. If anyone's out there who's seen something like this, please just tell me I'm not the only one. Part 2. The Boy Who Wasn't There. Private message from user Dark Evidence 87 to Jonah 93. Subject, I think I know what you saw. I don't usually reach out to people from forums like this, but I read your post. All of it. And I need you to know, I've seen something too. I used to work for a small town PD in Oregon back in the early 2000s. There was this missing kid case that chilled me to the bone. 10-year-old boy named Levi Barnes. Just vanished from his room one night. No broken windows. No unlocked doors. No signs of struggle. Just gone. Like he stepped out of the world. What freaked me out, though, wasn't just the case. It was what his mom said a week before it happened. She told us Levi kept talking about the man with the no-face suit standing in their backyard. She thought it was just his imagination. We all did, until he disappeared. The reason I'm messaging you? That detail you shared about the man in the garden. The one who never moved, just stared? The one your dad saw when he was a kid and maybe you've seen now too? Same goddamn thing. From Jonah's personal log. March 14th, 2023. Not published. I can't shake the feeling that someone is watching me. Not in a metaphorical way. I mean it literally. Every night for the past 3 nights, I've woken up around 3:11 a.m. No alarm, no noise. Just a jolt, like my body knows something I don't. The first night I dismissed it. The second, I stared at the curtains for 20 straight minutes before finally forcing myself to go check the backyard. There was nothing. But tonight I didn't even have to look out. I knew something was there. Not just looking at the house, looking for me, like it was remembering me, or waiting. Email recovered from Dad's laptop. Date, March 3rd, 2012. From lucas.shepard@comcast.net to dr.harrison@outlook.com. Subject, dreams again. It's been years since I last saw it. Thought maybe it had finally let go. But 2 nights ago, I dreamed I was 11 again. Standing in my old bedroom in Dyer's Creek. The walls were peeling like someone had tried to erase the color from the inside. I turned to look out the window and he was there. Same as before. Suit too big for his body. Skin like paper. Eyes like pits. And that smile, thin and too wide like it had been drawn on. No mouth, but I swear I saw teeth. This time he raised one hand. just held it there, palm open, waiting. I tried to scream but couldn't make a sound. I always thought he was connected to River, that maybe River brought him somehow. But lately, I've started thinking he's connected to me, to something in our blood. From Jonah's message board post reply. Threat: I found something weird on my dad's old hard drive. Posted March 15th, 2023. Update: I confronted Dad today. It didn't go well. I asked him who River really was. At first he acted confused, like I'd made up the name. But I could see it in his eyes, he knew. He just didn't want to go there. When I pushed harder, his hands started shaking. I thought he was going to cry. Then he whispered, "We were warned." I asked, "Warned about what?" He looked up, and for just a second I didn't recognize him. His face was blank, not confused, not afraid, just gone. Like a light inside him had switched off. "Don't dig," he said. "Whatever you think you need to know, leave it. It only wakes it up." Then he went into the bathroom and locked the door. I haven't heard from him since. Jonah's voicemail, saved recording. March 16th, 2023, 2:43 a.m. Whispers: something's wrong. There's a shape outside the window. It's not moving. It's just standing. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the same man. The one from the emails, from Dad's dreams. He's real. And I think he's smiling now. Part 3. A Family Without Fathers. Audio transcription, tape number 7. Shepherd Family History, recorded 1982. Archivist, Helen Greber, Dyers Creek Oral Library. Speaker, Eliza Shepherd, age 91. You want to know about the boys? The ones that vanished? We had 3 in this family before Lucas was even born. First was Calvin. That was 1904. Boy barely turned 10. Said he was talking to someone in the garden. Kept asking if he could let the quiet man inside. Then one morning he was just gone. Sheets pulled back like he'd gotten up early, but shoes still by the bed. No prints. No sign of where he went. My brother Jordan was next. 1931. Same thing. Staring out windows all week before he disappeared. They never found him either. Last one was Theo, my cousin's kid. 1957. They said he was sleepwalking. But I know better. We all knew better. Shepherd boys don't run away. They get taken. Something follows us long as the blood runs. And we don't speak its name. From Jonah's personal notes. March 17th, 2023. Dad finally came out of the bathroom. He looked different. Not messy or wild. Just hollow. Like someone who had finally accepted a sentence they couldn't appeal. We didn't talk. But later that night, I found a shoebox taped shut in the attic crawl space. My name on top, written in faded black marker. Inside were photos. All black and white. Boy after boy standing outside some familiar-looking house. The house I grew up in. The caption under one photo read, Calvin S. Age 10, 1904. I looked again. He could have been my twin. Email sent from lucas.shepherd@comcast.net to dr.harrison@outlook.com. Date, September 12, 2012. Subject, The Pattern. Dr. Harrison, I've been researching. Family records, handwritten journals, tape reels. It's all here. My grandmother warned my father. He didn't listen. I didn't either. We all had a friend growing up. A man who stood still in places no one should be. We thought it was just something kids made up. But we all described him the same way. Even before we could read. No eyes. No mouth. Skin like bleached leather. And always watching from the garden. Each generation one of us vanishes. Like tribute. Like a pattern. I thought I escaped. But then Jonah was born. And now, I think it's watching him. Forum post by Jonah93, March 18th, 2023. Thread: what happens when fear skips generations? I don't know what to believe anymore. I asked my dad if he ever told Dr. Harrison the truth. He just nodded real slow and said, "You can't heal a curse with therapy." I went back to the attic today. I don't even know why. Something was pulling me. This time I saw there was a false wall behind the insulation. Inside, 12 more photos. All boys, all around 10 years old, each labeled, all gone, all shepherds. I think I know what's happening now. The man doesn't just take. He waits. He picks the one who's most like the last. And I think this time, it's me. Text message, March 18th, 3:44 a.m. From unknown number to Jonah Shepherd. You looked out the window too long. Now he remembers you. Audio log, Jonah's phone recording. March 18th, 2023, 3:55 a.m. Soft trembling voice. I'm downstairs now. There's someone on the lawn. Same as always. So, waiting. But there's something new tonight. There's a second figure beside him. Smaller. A child. And I swear, it looks just like me. Part 4, Borrowed Memories. Email archive, recovered fragment. From dr.harrison@outlook.com to lucas.shepherd@comcast.net. Subject, possible shared delusions. Lucas, I've been reading the case files and correspondence you forwarded, including your grandmother's audio tapes. The patterns are alarming, but what I find most compelling and disturbing is the consistency in visual details across generations of the Shepherd family. You all describe the entity the same way. I hesitate to use the term shared delusion because the consistency predates modern contact. This isn't a contagion of suggestion. Something older is at work here. I urge you to stop researching. For your health and Jonah's. Dr. H. Jonah's notebook entry. March 19th, 2023, 1:24 a.m. I can't sleep. It's not that I'm scared. It's that I keep dreaming things I've never lived. Memories that aren't mine. A cold wood floor beneath my feet. Wallpaper I've never seen before. A radio playing big band music. My mother calling for me in a voice I don't recognize. I saw a man drag a trunk into a basement. I saw blood on the edge of a sink. When I woke up, I still smelled bleach, and my hands were wet. Page scanned from the Journal of Calvin Shepherd, 1903. Recovered by Jonah in attic box Uncle Ed's tools. I saw the white man again today. He don't blink. He don't breathe. He just watches from the trees like he's deciding something. Papa said I'm not to speak about him, but I saw Papa watching him too. He won't admit it, but he's scared. I asked Mama if we had anyone buried in the woods. She just slapped my face and told me to hush. But I know there's something out there. Something that wants to be let in. And I think it remembers me from before I was born. Jonah's voicemail to himself, never sent. March 19th, 2023, 3:36 a.m. I don't know what's real anymore. I keep finding things in the house that shouldn't be there. Like a newspaper from 1931 on the kitchen table. Or a mirror that shows someone else's reflection. Last night, I walked into the living room and found an old man sitting in Dad's recliner. He looked up at me, smiled, then vanished when I blinked. Forum comment by user, inabsenta93. Reply to thread, what happens when fear skips generations? Jonah, I'm a folklorist. Focus on intergenerational trauma and memory in Appalachian cultures. What you're describing matches several obscure myths. The Pale Watcher, the Still Guest, the Waiting Bone. In each story, an entity appears to members of a bloodline across generations. Always described the same way. always attached to moments of silence, absence, and shame. The theory is, it doesn't come from outside. It grows from within a family, like a tumor born of guilt. If that's the case, what exactly did your ancestors do to call it forth? Text log, March 19, 2023, from Dad. 3:58 p.m. Lucas.Shepherd. You found Calvin's journal, didn't you? You need to burn it. Now, that's how it gets stronger, when it's remembered. Jonah's audio diary. March 20th, 2023, 12:01 a.m. I tried burning the journal. I really did. But when I struck the match, it blew out on its own. 3 times. No draft. No wind. I left it outside in the fire pit and went back inside. When I woke up this morning, the journal was back on my nightstand, open to a new page. The handwriting looked like mine. Excerpt from new page of journal. Dated, unknown, handwriting, unknown. He knows I see him now. He stands behind me when I write. His mouth is open now, and I know what's inside. He's not here to kill me. He's here to become me. Jonah's unpublished forum post, drafted but never sent. March 20th, 2023. I think I know the truth now. This thing, the Watcher, the still man, whatever he is, doesn't just haunt us. He needs us, like ink needs paper, like smoke needs fire. He's not some ghost from the woods. He's a pattern, a shape passed down through stories, names, blood. And now that I've remembered him, really remembered, I think he's waking up inside me. Part 5. The mirror blinks first. Jonah's personal audio log, fragmented playback. Date, March 21st, 2023. Time, unknown. Click, static, breathing. I woke up in the bathtub again. Water was running. My clothes were soaked through, but I don't remember getting in. There were footprints, mine, leading from the back door all the way through the house. But my feet were dry when I looked down. How? Long silence. Something is wearing me. Email from lucas.shepherd@comcast.net to jonah.l.shepherd@gmail.com. Subject, no subject. Date, March 21st, 2023, 4:11 a.m. Son, this is the last message I'll send. I've seen the signs. You're already halfway through. They call it mirroring. It's when he begins to inhabit not just memory but motion. You'll speak sentences you didn't form. Your handwriting will shift. Your reflection will look back a beat too slow. This is how it begins. If you're brave enough, go to the place I never did. The man who survived it once lives off Pine Hollow Road, up in New Orleans. His name is Alden Rowe. He'll tell you what I couldn't. But be warned, he's forgotten more than you're ready to remember. Dad. Jonah's travel note, March 22nd. New Orleans is 41 miles from Dyer's Creek. Took the drive in silence. No music. There were dead birds scattered across the road as I turned onto Pine Hollow. 7 of them, each spaced perfectly. I saw my own face in the rearview mirror, but I wasn't blinking. Not even once. Transcription. Interview with Alden Rowe. Location, 17 Pine Hollow Road. Date, March 22nd, 2023, 3:03 p.m. Jonah, are you Alden? Alden, that's what's left of him. Jonah, my dad sent me. Lucas Shepherd. Alden, you've got the eyes. He had them too once, before the glass took them. Jonah, what do you mean the glass? Alden, mirror's son. He lives in reflections, in the slow spaces between breaths. He's old, older than the family, older than trees. Jonah, what is he? Alden, a collector of echoes, of guilt, of boys who look too long. He starts as memory, becomes habit, then becomes you. Jonah, How did you survive? Alden, I didn't. Not really. Alden turns his head. The left side of his face doesn't follow. Alden, you're already late. He's wearing your voice now. Jonah's phone voice recorder. March 22nd, 11:39 p.m. I left Alden's and drove straight back. But something's wrong with time. The sun was setting when I arrived at 3 p.m. But when I left, it was still setting. It's still setting now. No matter how far I drive, no matter what direction, it's always twilight. And the trees keep repeating. Security camera transcript, Shepherd home driveway. March 23rd, 2023, 1:17 a.m. Visual glitch. Jonah steps out of car. Jonah walks to front door. Jonah enters house. 7 minutes pass. Jonah walks in front of camera again. Same clothes, same posture, but faces different. Less Jonah, more smile. Email draft on Jonah's laptop, unsaved. Subject, I'm forgetting who I am. I found my journal from last week and couldn't recognize the handwriting. It's not messy, it's deliberate. Curved letters, archaic spacing. The entry starts with, I woke up, but I don't remember sleeping. I don't remember writing. I don't remember being me. Note left on bathroom mirror, written in shaving cream. Discovered, March 23 to 3:11 a.m. You should have never looked. Now you're a window. Jonah's forum post, final known entry. Posted, March 23rd, 3:35 a.m. Username Jonah93. Guys, if I start posting weird things, messages that don't sound like me, don't respond. Don't feed it. I think he's testing how much he can say through me before I notice. I'm keeping all the lights on. No mirrors, no glass, but sometimes I still hear my own voice from other rooms, and it's saying things I never learned. If you see a post from this account tomorrow, don't believe it's me. Part 6, The Echo Engine. Audio Diary, March 24th, 2023, 4:06 a.m. Found on Jonah's phone, folder labeled, Not Me. Click. Faint breathing. Whisper overlay. I don't know how long I've been recording. Sometimes I wake up mid-sentence. Sometimes I look down and my hands are writing. The voice in my head doesn't use contractions. It speaks too formally. It sounds like a memory rehearsed too many times. He's not trying to haunt me. He's editing me. Letter discovered in false panel, Shepherd Attic, Dyers Creek. Dated, October 9th, 1898. Written by Jeremiah Shepherd. To whomever finds this, know that he is not of earth or spirit, but of imitation. He has no shape of his own, he borrows form from us. Our fears, our sins, our lost sons. We called him the mirror man, but names only give him shape. When we whisper, he listens. When we grieve, he feeds. And when we remember, he becomes. There is only one way to banish him. You must tell the story truthfully, every generation, out loud, and do not let the tale become distorted. If we bury it in silence, he will rise again, newer, stronger, more like us. This is not a curse. It is a machine, and memory is its fuel. Surveillance footage, Dyers Creek Police Department. March 24th, 2023, 10:51 a.m. Jonah enters station lobby. No shoes, blood on fingertips. He approaches desk. Silent. Officer asks, "Sir, are you okay?" Jonah smiles, then whispers, "What year is it?" Officer replies, 2023. Jonah laughs for 7 straight minutes, then collapses. Hospital psychiatric intake form, St. Gideon's Medical. Patient, Jonah Lucas Shepherd. Admitted, March 24th, 2023. Symptoms, dissociation, temporal displacement, identity confusion, mutism, mirror aversion, aggression toward reflective surfaces, compulsive writing in archaic script. Observed behavior. Patient speaks occasionally in third person, often referring to self as we. Repeats phrase, I was written first. Family history. Multiple cases of adolescent disappearance. Father, Lucas Shepard, currently unreachable. Recommended observation. High risk, level 3 monitoring. Excerpt from Jonah's hospital notebook, page 17. Handwriting increasingly angular, not in Jonah's usual form. He's inside the electricity now. Reflections are no longer necessary. He speaks through buzzing outlets, through speaker static. He sings to me in Morse, and the message is always the same. You are my favorite version. Email auto-sent from Jonah's account. Date: March 25th, 2:14 a.m. Recipients: all contacts. Subject: thread. Your names are threads, and I've pulled mine loose. You should too. Before it tightens, before it knots, before it binds you to him. Unexplained Phenomenon Report, St. Gideon's. Filed by Nurse McKinley. March 25th, 2023. At approximately 3:03 a.m., all mirrors on level 3 spontaneously cracked. No visible force. 3 patients simultaneously began humming an unknown tune. Room lights flickered in synchrony with patient Jonah Shepard's speech patterns, despite no electronic implants or connections. He looked directly into the observation camera and mouthed the word, "Remember." There was no audio. Jeremiah Shepard's letter, final lines translated from old script. If the story dies in the blood, it will live in the walls. If it dies in the walls, it will live in the mirrors. If it dies in the mirrors, it will speak through the living. If it speaks through the living, there will be no more shepherds. Jonah's final written statement, delivered to Dr. H. Date: March 25th, 11:59 p.m. I know what he is now. He's not a ghost, not a demon. He's a pattern, a need, a hunger for symmetry, the kind of thing that survives through ritual repetition. The same name passed down, the same room, the same reflection, the same silence. And I'm the last loop. If I don't say the story right, he'll survive in me. But if I do, he'll die as me. Part 7. The version that stayed. Security footage log. St. Gideon's Observation Room A. March 26, 2023, 3:33 a.m. Camera feed static, then clears. 2 figures are now in room A. Both appear to be Jonah Shepard. Identical clothes, identical face. One stands beside the bed, calm, smiling. The other sits in the corner, trembling. No entry or exit logged. No staff report interaction. Footage timestamp loops 5 times before cutting. Transcript, psychological interview, voice recording found later. Dr. H with patients, Jonah Shepard. March 26, 2023, 4:01 a.m. Dr. H. Jonah, who is the man beside you? Jonah, corner, he's not real. Dr. H. Then why does he speak? Why does he move when you don't? Jonah, standing because I'm the version who stayed. The one who accepted. Dr. H. Accepted what? Jonah, standing the truth. That we are echoes. And echoes must eventually drown out the voice that made them. Jonah, corner, he's mimicking me. Using my voice. Dr. H. Can you prove you're the original? Jonah, corner, I don't remember the first time I saw the Watcher. Jonah, standing, but I do. Dr. H. That doesn't make you more real. Jonah, standing, no. But it makes me better. Private note, Dr. H to self, handwritten. March 26, 5:12 a.m. This is no longer psychology. It's architecture. Two identical structures occupying the same space. One must collapse. But the difference lies not in origin, but in memory. Whoever remembers first survives. Recovered audio, Jonah's own recording replayed later. Unknown time. I remember now. My mother. She used to hum the same tune that's been stuck in my head for weeks. I thought it was meaningless, but she only ever hummed it when she was crying. And she only cried when she looked in the mirror too long. I think she knew. I think she saw him too. Redacted entry, Shepherd Family Bible, back page. Date, unknown. To pass is not to die, but to change faces. He waits for silence, for guilt, for mirrors. But if a shepherd names him without fear, and remembers the truth louder than the echo, then the pattern breaks. Nurse report, Observation Room A, March 26, 6:06 a.m. One Jonah remains. Mirror in corner shattered, shards embedded in left arm. Patient was screaming, "I remember my name and it's not yours," before collapse. Voice deepened, doubled, then singular. When revived, patient said, "I'm alone now." We don't know what he meant. Final tape from Alden Rowe, delivered posthumously. Labeled, "For the Last Shepherd." You won't kill it by forgetting. You kill it by remembering correctly. Its power lies in distortion, half-truths, twisted guilt, erased names. But when a shepherd says the whole story from root to bone, it can't hold. It dies in truth. So if you're hearing this, Jonah, tell your story. Out loud. In full. And mean it. Don't just survive. End it. Jonah's letter, mailed to Dr. H. Postmarked March 27, 2023. Dr. Harrison, I'm leaving Dyer's Creek. I've packed nothing but the truth. I plan to go where it all began. The original Shepherd Farm burned down in 1906. The records say it was lightning. The tapes say otherwise. But I remember now. It wasn't lightning. It was him retreating into smoke after someone said his name. I know the name now. I know the ritual. I'm going to say it where the silence started. And if you never hear from me again, that's how you'll know I succeeded. Jonah. Part 8, where the pattern ends. Field recording, device recovered near Old Shepherd Homestead, North Dyer's Creek. March 29, 2023, timestamp 4:44 a.m. Wind, footsteps, breath visible in cold air. Jonah's voice faint but steady. I've reached the field. Nothing left but the stones now. Foundation lines. Charred roots. The skeleton of a place that used to matter. But I can feel it humming. It knows I'm here. Pause. He's already waiting. Same way he always was, near the edge, half shadow, looking like something memory built wrong. Pause, then louder. I brought the story. All of it. And I brought the name. Jonah's handwritten ritual entry, found in ashes. Titled, The Last Version. To break the pattern. Speak it whole. Speak it clean. Speak it without mirrors or masks. Speak as yourself. Because the echo cannot survive the original sound. Jonah's voice. Recitation begins from recovered audio. My name is Jonah Lucas Shepherd. My family comes from silence. But we made a monster from forgetting. It fed on what we refused to say, the disappearances, the madness, the way none of us ever told the truth about what happened to the boys who vanished. We called it a curse, but it was a story. A story we stopped telling because it hurt too much. And in that gap he came. The one who listens in silence. The one who walks where grief is heaviest. The one who replaces the names we forget. Pause, wind gust. Recording trembles. He took Calvin. He took River. He took me, almost, but I'm here. And I remember everything. Jonah's memory flood, transcribed from final recording. Voice breaks, shifts tone, blends young and old inflections. I remember the feeling of being watched from under the floorboards. I remember being 5 and seeing my dad cry in front of the mirror. I remember Alden's face not turning. I remember the man beside the laundry line, mouthless, yet grinning inside my dreams. I remember my own voice calling me from the closet. I remember every boy whose photo was hidden in our attic. I remember being him. Almost, but not quite. Long silence, then final words whispered. You were made of forgetting. I was made of memory. I win. Aftermath report, March 30th, 2023. Filed by Dyers Creek Volunteer Fire Watch. Early morning, residents near Pine Hollow reported a thunderous noise followed by brief tremors. A black column of smoke rose from the forest for approximately 13 minutes, then vanished. The land surrounding the old Shepherd homestead was found scorched in perfect circular pattern. No signs of fire ignition. No damage to trees. One item recovered from center of clearing. An audio recorder still warm. Fully intact. Battery reading 0%. Final journal entry, Dr. Harrison. April 2nd, 2023. Jonah's disappearance has not made the news. No one's asking questions. But the forum thread he started has been archived over 700 times by strangers. The voice on the final recording, it's him. But it also isn't. It's like the weight of generations was carried in his tone. As if every shepherd boy who vanished finally got to speak all at once. And at the end, quiet. Not silence. Just peace. Epilogue. Anonymous forum post, April 5th, 2023. User, thread ended. If you're reading this, tell someone the story. Any version, any voice, but say it out loud. Because when it's remembered properly, he can't take root. Just don't let it fall silent again. Don't pull the thread. Pass it.
And that was tonight's tale from the Shadowed Tales archive. If it left a mark on your mind, if the silence feels heavier now, then the story did what it was meant to do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the darkness. New stories are always on their way. Until then, keep the lights low and the doors locked.